Welcome back to Keys to Legacy, where we're talking about building and protecting generational wealth one conversation at a time. I'm Jackie Menifee, your Metro Atlanta realtor, and I'm excited to have back again Lorraine Martin, my friend and financial consultant in the Georgia area. And she's back because, we've had many conversations, Lorraine, about the media, saying that in the market today, the economy is doing good, right? But most people are like, well, how is that? How is the market doing good when I'm sitting here living paycheck to paycheck? Gas prices are high, groceries
Yes.
are high, I mean, et
Mhm.
cetera, right? It's one thing after another. So,
Yep.
Lorraine, just a little introduction about yourself, and then let's get started on that topic.
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate you having me back. I am Lorraine Martin, your wealth and money coach, and love having these conversations. I'm here in the Metro Atlanta area. I do service many other states. I'm licensed in many other states, but mostly here is where I have my home base, my business, my family, and most of my clients. So thank you, Jackie, for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, where's the money, Lorraine? Right? Because again, like I said, you hear on the news, and you even mentioned this too, that the media is saying that tax refunds are higher than they were last year. Really? I mean,
Yeah,
for who?
exactly. So for the clients I've talked to who've already gotten their tax refunds, no, it's not higher. And for the tax preparers that I've talked to, three of whom I talked to, their referral partners for me, and I'm asking them that question, and they're not seeing it either. So I'm not quite sure who is getting those higher tax refunds, but it's not Main Street families that I work with and that my tax preparer referral partners work with. So they're not seeing that. So the money is elsewhere. That we're going to have to dig to get the money. And that's the conversation I hope that we're going to have today, where we can dig to find that money that they're talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, when you hear that kind of stuff on the news and then about the economy being strong, right? You've got interest rates as far as mortgage rates, they just ticked back up. Gas prices now, I mean, I remember I spent $2 and some odd cents on gas per gallon, but now it's almost at $4 a gallon here,
Mhm.
right, in Georgia. Grocery prices, those haven't gone down. So it's like we're seeing it everywhere. People aren't making more money. You've got the budget that's not passed. So you've got TSA
Mm,
workers and other federal workers who aren't working, who then can't
mhm.
go to work because they've got to find other sources of income to put money on, to
Exactly.
put food on the table.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
saw on the news today where, there's a local church in the area that is opening up food donations to TSA workers, which
Mm,
is awesome. But why do we even have to be here?
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's
for
like
sure.
the dollar is not stretching as far as it
Yeah.
used to. So
Right.
people are going to have to give up certain things, right?
Yeah.
And most often
Absolutely.
that's food and looking for places where they can go to a food pantry and get food. And
Yeah, for sure.
so when I hear all this stuff about the economy is doing great, and then, people are getting bigger tax refunds, I don't see that. Not with the
Nor
people
do
that
I.
I have a circle with, right?
Not
So
do I. Yes.
how, as you being the expert as far as, being a financial consultant, what are some ways that people can stretch what they have right now or find, maybe that we're leaking money, right? We're spending
Yeah,
money on
for
things that
sure.
maybe we shouldn't be spending money on right now because it needs to go towards something else,
Right. For
right?
sure.
I mean, where do you start?
So we start with the B word, the dreaded B word that so many people hate. It's called budget, right? It's not a dirty word. I actually used that in a thing I did. I said budget is not a dirty word because a lot of times when people think about a budget, they think of something being restrictive, right? And I like to see a budget that's giving you freedom, believe it or not. Because hear this. Okay, so I have a case of a client, a couple up in Maryland. They make between them about $15,000 a month. I know that's a lot of money for a lot of people, right? But hear this. they had lost $4,000 a month. They did not know where $4,000 a month out of that $15,000 was going until they did a budget, right? On the other hand, I have a lady I just spoke with earlier this week, and she told me in our conversation that she thinks her monthly budget is about $3,500. And in my conversation with her, I knew that couldn't be correct. And so I sent her my budget sheet, which is available to everybody. Whoever wants it will have the, make that connection to get it. But I sent her my budget sheet. She called me back and said, like, Lorraine, I'm at $5,000 and I don't have everything included yet. Okay. So I also want to share this one. I have another client who is a sneakerhead, a girl. She's a sneakerhead. And every month, $50 goes towards her sneaker budget. So that when she goes and buys her $200 or $300 sneaker, she's not worried about the fact that she, did not pay a bill or something because she knows she budgeted for that. So that's what I want a budget to do for you, to give you the freedom where every dollar has a home and it's accounted for before the money actually walks in the door, right? So you know that you can take care of the important things first and then do the things that you want to do afterwards. Take care of your needs first and then the wants after. And included in that need is to pay yourself, to set something aside for yourself. Whether it's for your fun stuff or for your emergency savings or for your retirement or whatever it is, be a line item on that budget. Budget is not a dirty word, I promise you. And in this economy, more than ever, it's a necessity almost to create a budget of some sort that you can say, here, this is the money I'm bringing in. It's taking care of stuff. And if it's not taking care of stuff, where are some areas I can trim, at least temporarily,
Mhm.
until things get better or until you can source some other income or something like that. But budget is where I would say right now, where most of us who are not taking advantage of that can. And budget looks different for everybody.
Yeah.
For some people, it's a legal pad where they
Mhm.
write everything down. For other people, it may be one of those fancy apps that they use. And for other people, it's something in between, but it looks different for everybody. But as long as you have something with which you can account for the dollars that are walking in the door, you can call it your budget.
Gotcha. Okay. And you can help people with this, right?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
absolutely can. I can certainly help with creating that budget for you and with you, for sure.
Awesome. Okay. And here's one thing I just thought about. Not that I'm trying to expose my age here, but back in the day, we always had cash in our pocket, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
flipping out that debit card, right? It was cash. You paid for everything cash. It was so much easier to control what I was spending when I
Yes.
had cash. Had to get it out of the
Yes.
bank. I knew how much I was getting out of the bank.
Yes.
And so you bought everything with cash. And now it's so easy to flip out that debit card, to flip
Swipe,
out that credit card.
swipe.
And then at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you're like, what did I spend
Yeah.
my money on? Right. So
Yeah.
that
So
can,
so part so part of one of the things I do when I help somebody to create a budget, yes, they have the budget sheet and they're gonna write their stuff down, but I also have them go back through their statements for the last 30 to 60 days because a lot of times money is lost on those things that you're swiping and not accounting for. So I have them go back through their statement and write stuff down as best they can tell or remember what it is they spent it on and account for that. Because if not, your budget is not going to be a true reflection as to where your money went,
that's
right?
true.
And now you can tell it where to go and not figure out where it went,
Yeah,
going forward. So yeah.
I like that. So if there
Mhm.
was one key thing that you could offer, advice or something, right, in terms of where things are financially within the economy, living day to day, is there one thing, one offer of advice that you could give to the viewers, just in order to help their situation right now? One thing they could do.
One thing they could do, mm, account for everything that you're spending. Excuse me. And that is as far as your budget is concerned for sure. But where are some other areas that you could trim some things, right? I was on a call earlier today and we were talking about the little monies. If you take care of the little monies, the big monies will take care of itself.
Mhm.
And one of the areas of little monies, yes, we talk about the swiping, but we also talk about those convenience things that we do, the door dashes and the other things like that, right? We don't realize sometimes how those little things add up,
Yeah,
right? And so we have the opportunity now in this economy to be really be accountable to ourselves and to our today's self, but to our future selves as well. To really be accountable for every dollar that you are spending and make sure that it really is doing what you want it to do and what you need it to do.
right.
Because unless and until we do that, we are money is just going down the drain all
Yeah,
day long, every day. So that is the one thing I would say, there are little things that we can do. We could talk about, especially with gas prices getting high, we could talk about, planning our trips so that look, this is one little thing. I believe in making right turns. And so instead of standing at a light waiting to make, so we could talk about all those little things, but they add up after a while, right?
yep,
So plan your errands. If you have to make errands or don't run errands, pay stuff online or, whatever you need to do to avoid having to get in the car to go drive somewhere,
yeah.
for people who are driving to work, is there carpooling? Is there what is it? They have the bus that will pick you up, like
Oh,
the bus that, you know what I'm talking.
sure. I know.
They
Yeah,
have it
like
out here where
Connect
we are too.
Douglas or something, Rideshare
Yes.
Express or something
Yes,
like
something
that.
like that. Look into those. Look, it may not be convenient. I always freaked out about being able to come home urgently if I needed to, but how many times does that really happen? So just look at all those little areas that you could probably save some money. Because when you save the little bit, the big one will take care of itself. And so in this economy, I would just say look for all the areas and opportunities to save some money.
I love it. I love it. I am
Mhm.
going to have all of your information in the comments because I think in this day and age, with the media telling us that the economy is good, people aren't feeling that in the day to day. And
Yeah.
so to get some help and
Mhm.
advice on just how to make it right now, right?
Yeah.
And just how to have a brighter future, especially planning for today first.
Yes,
Like I
for
said, I'm
sure.
going to have all your info in the comments. People can reach out, get some help, some management help. But
Yes.
I do look forward to having you back on another episode so we
All
can dig
right.
a little deeper.
Yeah.
But for now, Lorraine, thank you for coming on to
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
episode of Keys to Legacy.
Appreciate
Y'all,
you.
we will see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining.
All right.